another night. You are on my mind, taking all my time all through the day. I try control every chance I see. Always you with me, that's in my dreams. But oh, you try so hard not to say, oh, all the things you do to me, and girl, oh, my love can't be concealed. Girl, you know the deal. Baby, stay with me tonight. 'Cause you give me special joy. Oh, make me feel just like a schoolboy girl. Oh, yes, the feeling's right. Please come hold me tight. Baby, stay with me tonight. Good morning, fellow billionaires. 5150 with your morning update for Thursday, October 1st, 2020. All right, enough of that. So we are here today with a brand new coin from the Perth Mint. Let's get some light off of that. This is the Perth Mint Great White Shark, okay, or Australian Great White Shark. Let's go ahead and tilt that up against there. Maybe get a better angle. There we go. So yeah, the Perth Mint Great White Shark, and it is a pretty neat coin, man. I'm telling you. Gonna put that there, and I am very, very happy with this acquisition. All right. So yeah, a little Jeffrey Osborne there for you. And that was Baby Stay With Me Tonight. You know, Jeffrey Osborne, we've done him here before. He, of course, is a stellar solo artist in the R&B realm and used to be the lead singer for a group called LTD. LTD, pretty cool group, had a lot of great songs out too. All right. So look, today you are back on the Silver 5150 channel as we begin the fourth economic quarter, guys. This is the roller coaster ride we've been talking about. It's the roller coaster ride we've been talking about. I want to thank you all for joining me on the copper train yesterday as we took a ride through some of the possible future scenarios that would justify investing in bullion grade copper. And hats off to you who took the plunge yesterday. Some of you did. You jumped in, you went over to Golden State Mint, and you got some copper on the way, and I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Okay? So hats off to you yesterday. Here's hoping that you enjoy your new stack, your red metal, that is truly a longer term position than silver. Okay? And by longer term, I mean 5 to 10 years versus, say, silver 1 to 4 years. All right? So what I'd like to talk to you guys about today is becoming dollar sharks. Okay? Obviously. That's obviously the theme for today. Becoming dollar sharks. Okay? Because you want to become experts in devouring inflation. Let's get it on the queen here. Look at that. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, that is such, oh man, that's such a knockout coin. Let's see if we can get some, oh, look at that proof activity there, proof-like activity. And of course on the critter itself. And look at the detail in that. That's very, very cool. And in fact, it's supposed to be pointing up like it's coming up from under you. And it's going to devour your butt. But yeah, man, we want to become dollar sharks. We do. We want to become dollar sharks. And we want to be experts in devouring deflation, which is what we're actually going to be experiencing here soon, I think. And then using hyperinflation and inflation against that. So we want to become experts in using hyperinflation and inflation against deflation. Now, of course, for that, we have these coins that are representing the theme today. Okay. And look, I'd love to claim ownership of all these coins. I can't claim ownership of all the dollars because they're just a cluster of dollars, the same ones you've been seeing for a while. But it turns out that, you know, these 50 coins here, there's 50 shark coins here. Let's go ahead and get back in. There's 50 shark coins here. And this is a joint effort by myself and Baby Duck. Myself and Baby Duck, we went in on an order from Bold, I think, back about three weeks ago. And we jumped on, I thought it was 2 rolls, but they actually come. These coins right here, when you get them, they come in groups of 10. They come in clusters of 10. And they're wrapped in like the cellophane, the shrink, cellophane wrap. Not cellophane, but it's the hard stuff. And then it's 10 to a brick. And then, we ordered 50 for 25 a piece. And so we got 5 bricks of those. And I disassembled all that. And I'm going to make sure that she gets hers today after the show. And then I'm going to vault mine and keep those for later on. Let's see. So that's off. I'm going to fix that right there. All right. So yeah. So joint effort between myself and Baby Duck. Baby Duck, thank you very much for going in on an order with me like that. We managed to save a ton of money by, doing the volume pricing, and there was no tax with Bold. I guess that's a Bold thing because, well, actually, yeah, No, because of the cost of the coins, we went over $1,500. These things were around $30 a piece. So $30 a piece, 50 coins, over $1,500. You don't pay tax in most of the places that are charging tax. And of course, the volume pricing got us over 49. So it was a good deal too. And the shipping was free. This is the stuff I'm talking about all the time. Where you have to try to work together to maybe get better deals on precious metals. And that's the world we live in right now. If you want to take advantage of volume pricing, free shipping, and tax exemptions, you got to either buddy up or bundle in groups to make it happen. I don't know if you guys have ever followed Backyard Bullion, but he was doing big group orders, for people over in the UK and parts of Europe that wanted to avoid paying, full VAT tax, for every transaction. They just get like these big bulk orders, and so they'd all share the freight for that. Very good thing. So, um, hmm. Yeah, just think about that. It's called part of your silver ambassadorship where you want to kind of work together. So ambassadorship, you could say it's almost a necessity if you want to use that technique to try to get better deals and build your stack that way. So anyway, in this podcast, I'm going to tell you how I see things, talking about the dollar shark thing, how I see things and how I plan to position and reposition throughout the different phases of silver's growth as inflation and hyperinflation begins to take over. I think we could possibly see those things this year. I really do. In fact, I'm gonna do that here in a minute, but we've got to check out the markets first. Now, let's just preface this with it is the beginning of the first quarter. Yesterday was the end of the third quarter. Yesterday, we also heard that J.P. Morgan got a slap on the wrist for not having to pay the full $1 billion fine, and I think they ended up with $920 million was their fee. They ended up having to pay for spoofing the market and admitting to spoofing the market, which is akin to racketeering, which is a felony, from what I understand. And so the six guys they have that's gonna, go up on charges, and they're going to possibly have stuff in a criminal record. I don't know if there's anything that's gonna actually happen to them. Two of them turned themselves in. They confessed and stuff. So I think they've saved their skins. The other four, who knows what's gonna happen? But that pretty much defines the fourth quarter. Will we be seeing more manipulation like we've been seeing over the past, I could say, 30 years? All right. But in the case of JP Morgan, probably in the last 20 years at least, last, 12 that we know of, when they took over the short position from Bear Stearns in 2008. And so if that's the case, this is going to be more of a time for us to stack. I thought the clock was counting down. It could be counting down, but it doesn't look like it's counting down too fast. So, in any case, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the markets. Right now, stock futures are up almost a full percent, with the S&P 500 at 33.82, up some $30 at 0.9%, and the Dow is up 0.8% at 27,884, trying to work its way towards 28 again today. This will be like the 15th time it's gone to that $28,000 high, the Dow has. And then, of course, the NASDAQ is up 0.8%, and so is 0.7% for the Russell 2K small caps. So the stocks are tracking higher. They look like they're going to try to finish for a green close today. And there's really no reason for them not to, because the dollar is confirming it with a 0.1% drop down 8 cents on the 94 handle at 94.26. And then, of course, the euro is up, 10 basis points up to 1.1734. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. It looks like things are moving in a positive direction for assets that are not. Why are you upside down? That is completely unacceptable. Sorry, guys. My OCD. And it's even worse. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Now, on the commodity side, we're going to talk about crude oil, which has dipped back below $40 a barrel. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad. It's at 39.84, down 1% from yesterday. And then, of course, gold, the big yellow metal, my favorite big yellow metal, is up just a hair at 0.3%, or just over the 19 handle at 1901 and 10 cents. Excuse me, for $5.45 gain. And of course, silver is right now at 23.73, under that 24 handle, which I think is completely bogus, but whatever. It looks like we're going to start to move into higher numbers. It looks like we're just going to have to work for them. That's all. So, yeah, right now silver is up at 23.72, up 23 cents at exactly 1%. So, We will continue to watch that all day, like we do throughout the day, to see if there's any major breakthroughs. And if there's something crazy on the horizon that's going to happen, I will be glad to divulge that to you. All right, another look at the sharks here. And I got to tell you guys, I'm really impressed with the backsplash, effect it has. Let's see if we can get in there closer. With the water, I guess, is he breaking out the surface of the water? The shark is, because you can see part of his body. Yeah, I guess he's breaking out the surface of the water. That's the splashing around him, and then the matte finish in the background is just the ocean proper, And then the lettering on it, they went all out with that, which is pretty cool. And then on the front side, which I learned this is the front side. This is not the front side. This is the back side. The front side, where the queen is, just like we have in our currency, we have the leader on the front. They went through the trouble of making, of course, the queen proof-like, and then the lettering proof-like. The Australia 2021 $1 denomination Queen Elizabeth II. And lots of detail in the crown and the hair and the jewels, like they always do. The Perth Mint, I mean, somebody said that Perth Mint, is the best mint out there. I don't know if they're the best mint out there. Gosh, I think they offer more products than anybody else, and they certainly put out top stuff. But I don't know. I would say that there's no better mint out there. Is that is that even allowed? It's pretty much the same thing, I guess. So anyway, all right, back to our points we were going to talk about earlier. So yeah, becoming dollar sharks and using inflation, hyperinflation against deflation as the days and the conditions roll on. Now, here's how I see it. When I look at inflation, I see dollars that you can earn from working, okay? Dollars that you can earn from working, or dollars that come from banks that engage in fractional reserve lending, which, by the way, they can do at a rate of 100 to 1. Okay, I heard Bix Weir there on roadtoruta.com say that they can do it at 10 to 1, and that's what they normally do at 10 to 1. Mike Maloney says 100 to 1, and when I kind of poked at a banker one time and, trying to get a loan for a home, he kind of went like, well, yeah, it's the law. We can, whatever we have to do to maintain liquidity, but it's well over, 10 to 1. It's, closer to 100 to 1. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I didn't think he'd tell me that. But, young banker. So that's very helpful. And so there are those dollars that come into existence, and I think those are electronic. So the dollars you earn from working, they come your direct deposit, and then of course you turn them into dollars like these, so you can do things with them, or you leave them on your credit card, whatever you want to do. But these physical dollars do exist. The 100 to 1 fractional reserve lent dollars that the banks create, those come into existence. And then the Federal Reserve itself is in the practice right now, you guys know this, of zapping goo-gobs of dollars into existence to accommodate whatever our government here in the United States thinks it needs at the time. And don't think we're stopping there. We're also kind of aiding other countries too. We're not just stopping with us. So we're doing all this stuff to liquefy or capitalize the world using these dollars. And so when you see that happening on the latter two ways that it takes place, it makes you go, well, why am I working for them if they can just zap them into existence however they want? I got to go out and I got to put in effort for an hour to get maybe 10 to 20 of them. I know, it's kind of jacked up. All right, so seeing that we need dollars, we still need dollars. We got to use them from time to time. There's no way around it. The best way for us stackers to get them, what is it? What is the best ways for us to get them? Is it working, directly? Or are we able to take advantage of, markets and, like invest in dividend trading and dividend paying stocks and all this stuff? All right. I don't do that. I don't do that. There are people out there that can do that sort of thing. I don't do that anymore. I am a trades and labor worker. Guys, I'm a trades and labor worker. I drive a shuttle for a living. I do some stuff on the side, but I don't have any formal education. Dropped out of high school when I was young. Parents passed away, so there really was no reason for me to stick around. And then that's when I enlisted into the military, and that's pretty much been my beginning adult life experience. Nothing formal, nothing educationally formal, anything like that. Just self-educated, to the extent I am, which I don't think is very far, but far enough to survive. All right. So what I'm saying, these really clever ways to earn dollars to use out there, and I don't even know if I want to call them dollars. The Federal Reserve notes is what they are. I'm sure a lot of you will correct me on that, but I'm just saying dollars for the case for the case of expediency. I'm just trying to expedite the message here. Most of you guys know where I stand on Federal Reserve notes being called dollars because I think a fewer grains than this, but a weight of silver is actually $1. We'll say that again. All right. But anyway, so as a trades and labor worker, like I was saying, I earn at a pace that is lower than the increase in inflation. Okay. And most of us do. They're not going to tell us what real world inflation is. They're not going to give us the real, CPI or consumer price index information. They're going to doctor everything. They're going to price all the markets to perfection. They're going to hide inflation and hide radical economic activity from us to keep us pacified and keep us, kind of in the dark, like a mushroom. Okay, but that's okay. We are aware of it as stackers. We're aware of what's going on, and we are taking steps to circumvent it. All right. So, but earning money at a rate lower than inflation, which that means I'm losing, every day. All right. Now, the reason I don't invest in stocks anymore is because I tried it. I tried investing in stocks. I tried investing in bonds, and real estate. I did good, but with stocks and bonds and currencies, didn't do too well. Didn't do too well at all. And so I learned my lesson after losing a lot of money. All right, and decided I needed to find a better, safer way to gather more currency besides just working. And I think I did. I found out that there is a way to cast a net, a way to cast a net like you would out into the ocean and cast it far and wide to catch any dollars that are hapless enough to fall into it. All right? The net is precious metals. The net's precious metals. Now, of course, you see these dollars on the bottom, but you get the representation. All right? But precious metals, whether it's gold or silver, all right, are very capable of capturing dollars. Now, silver, I'm going to say, is better than gold simply because its price point and its room to run and its ability to move when the economy becomes dynamic and, like singularly directional. It's, once it's doing this multi-directional thing, what's going up and down right now. In fact, silver hasn't moved at all. Gold is right now at the 1900 flat line. Once they start to move to the upside, they will start to outpace inflation. And in that case, depending on how you're positioned in your stack, you can use parts of your stack that were low cost when you came in, that are much higher resale value, to get that cash if you need it to do things with it. And by proxy, you have captured more dollars, by buying low and selling high. This is a simple equation. All right, so when you consider using these precious metals as nets for capturing dollars, you must think of silver as a net that can actually stretch and expand, meaning it's going to grow and start to pace inflation and outpace inflation. All right? And it can make itself bigger than gold because it's able to outperform gold, like I said, given its price point. And gold can also stretch, but just not to as great a degree as silver, talking about, in the ideal of a net. So, if you're going to cast to get precious metals, if you're going to cast precious metals netting to capture those little Federal Reserve buggers here, all right, Federal Reserve notes, I would recommend you use silver, and I think most of us are doing that because it does the same thing as gold, but just at a lower price point. If you have gold and silver, you've got two nets out, and two nets are good, all right? I'm okay with just silver. I've almost sold all my gold, and I am pretty much almost 100% silver. I won't divulge just how much, but I'm making the play for silver mostly. All right. So how do I do it? How do I cast my silver net to catch more dollars? And I've been doing it, by the way, throughout this entire time I've been talking to you guys, in the last 9-10 months. All right. My latest example of me doing this is I made a purchase some time back. And you guys have seen the items I'm about to talk about. These are the 400 ounces of Atmex Silver Shot that I've had in a couple of videos, and the 100 ounce Atmex bar. And I purchased both of those. During the final $17 spot smackdown we went through in June, before the big spike in July. So you guys have seen my stack, right? And real quick, look, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't checked out some of my earlier videos, I'm telling you, check it out. If you haven't checked out some of my earlier videos, I think you're missing it. If you love stacking and you love metal and you love looking at coins and stuff, I think you're missing it. If you haven't checked out any of my early videos, now everybody's busy and who has time to do all that stuff? But, just saying, if you get a chance to binge watch, get in there and prepare to be entertained with coins and whatnot. Now you're going to get a song here and there. There's going to be songs in the videos, okay, and stories. There's going to be some stories in there too. If that's not your cup of tea, you can skip over those. But there are easily over 10,000 ounces of silver on display in probably 200 different forms in that video library. 400 videos. Got silver in them. All different things. We're talking about them, all that stuff. And it's nice stuff too. I mean, it's not, some generic and some kind of secondhand, or what do they call it? They call that scruffy. Some of the stuff scruffy. But I'm telling you, man, you really need to check it out because there's some really cool stuff in the Silver 5150 video library. Just kind of dig in there and just pick some at random. You might see rhodium, you might see copper, you might see gold, you might see platinum, palladium, and of course you're going to see silver. All right, but just go ahead and check it out whenever you get the time, if you feel you want to do that. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I consider the silver shot that I bought and the 100-ounce silver bar overbought items. So these are items I bought just because I thought it was going to be the end. And in a sense, it was the end of $17 ounce prices, spot prices. But these were overbought items that I just threw cash into just to freeze it in place. So as such, they have been allocated all this time for sale into cash. They have. Now, before hyperventilation sets in, because I know Silver Joker right now is going, "You're selling silver?" Well, yes, I do sell silver. I buy silver. It all depends. All right? You're buying low and selling high. All right, but I want you to consider that the out-of-pocket cost for me for that 500 ounces, the 400 ounces silver shot and 100 ounce bar, was $7,200 as I got everything at 99 cents over spot at the time. Okay? So the plan is just to hold on to these things until probably November and then sell them back to APMEX. They're APMEX, it's APMEX shot, APMEX bar and stuff. I could probably get a better deal somewhere else, but APMEX will take them and they will actually pay for the shipping, I think, to get them there. And if not, I expect spot to be well over $30 by then, at which point, even with shipping, I could probably sell that position to 500 ounces for around $16,000. Or as I like to call it, stealing value in the form of 80% profit over 6 months. Think about what I said. I paid $7,200 for these things in June. And then in November, I plan to sell them for around $16,000, which would be like an 80% profit. Actually, more than that, now that I think about it. Probably more like 130%. But my point is, it's actually over 5 months. Like I said, there are plenty of things that need to be satisfied by dollars that I could take care of if I did that. My debt, for example. My debt has been locked at a fixed rate for what seems like an eternity. Its balance and its interest remains unchanged because it's a loan, it's fixed rate, right? But if I pay them down with cash that I'll earn on a metals position later at APMEX, that I'll get from APMEX, I'll be able to do it at almost twice the rate in 5 months since I chose to use silver as a money market account rather than just an insurance plan or longer-term savings. I have other silver for that. Okay? But yeah, so I hope you kind of caught that. I bought low on silver that I don't really care about to send my stack. It's silver shot and a generic poured bar from APMEX. Let it go for 2.5 times the cash or something like that. And then pay down fixed rate debt that hasn't changed at all in its evaluation, and go ahead and extinguish that debt with it. So I've been able to do it. I'd be able to do it at twice the rate I would if I just went out and earned the dollars, working hour to hour, okay, by the hour. Okay, so yes, I am going to look at those metals in my position as a money market account that I've earned 130% on. Okay, and so you got to understand, even though I make it sound easy, this only works under very specific conditions. Very specific conditions. It is because I kind of knocked around in the precious metals market for so long and watched it so intently that at the time I made the move in June, I felt there was a very good chance of a large spike up towards the end of this year. And it happened. It actually happened in July. But after seeing the economic ravages left by COVID, I felt perfectly comfortable at that time in June making that purchase because COVID, it hit us in March really hard. And then I was back then even thinking, if this thing doesn't work out, or if I can't make colloidal silver with it or I can't do anything with it, I am going to use it as cash to pay down debt. I vowed to do that later this year, and I will. So it's actually working out. But as 5150 as I am, I don't convert all of my excess capital. I don't convert all my excess capital into precious metals to steal value. There's other ways to steal value, okay? There are other things, for example, that I like to hoard? By transforming my dollars, I transform my dollars into other things while the dollar still has relative strength. Now, examples of these other things include, get ready, inexpensive reading glasses. You can get them at the dollar store. I don't recommend those. Spend a little extra on them because you don't want to ruin your eyes. Inexpensive reading glasses, alcohol or spirits. You guys have seen my stack of Everclear bottles. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink at all. I haven't drank in 17 years. But I still love to stack alcohol because I think it has a good commodity to it. All right. Undergarments like socks and chonies and tank tops and t-shirts. Regular garments like inexpensive jeans or t-shirts and comfortable shoes. All these things you can find if you know how to shop, either on Amazon or out in retail, brick and mortar, for pretty good prices, especially here in the United States. I don't know about overseas. Also, things like long-term food storage. For example, Wise is a good company. ReadyWise is a good company for long-term food storage. And of course, Augustin Farms. They're pretty good also. Those are like the top three. Now, I also I like to carry an excess of kitchen utensils because I love to cook. All right. But my emphasis is really on knives and blades, to include X-Acto knives and box cutter type blades with handles. Unboxings. You can't have good unboxings without good, box cutting blades, man. And we're going to have an old-fashioned boxing on Friday, by the way. So just be prepared for that. All right. So other things include batteries, lighters, water purification items. There's a bunch of different water purification things out there. Life Straw and, different kinds of filters and pumps and, water bobs. All that stuff. A simple bottle of water, for example, will last as long as 4 years in storage, as long as it stays cool and remains undisturbed. Guns and ammo? Guns and ammo? Trust me, I got that covered. All right? But these are other things you guys can do to capture the strength in your dollars right now. If you don't want to use it to buy silver, if you're stacking silver, just stack, 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 stack. And perhaps if there's not too bad of a resource shortage, you'll be able to convert your silver into things like I mentioned earlier, regular things that you need that you probably wouldn't be able to get otherwise because, like I said, there'll be a resource shortage. All right. So I think that's going to do it for the day. I think I talked a lot. I hope you guys are satisfied with it. And I hope I made sense that you can actually do that right now because silver has plenty of room to run. You can buy yourself some silver that you don't care about. It's like really cheap buffaloes, okay? I mean, I know you care about it, but I'm saying you care less than you do about some of the other stuff in your stack. If you're able to buy 100 buffaloes right now, while the price is still pretty good, spot silver is at $23.74. Find a good deal on buffaloes, or find a good deal on a 100-ounce bar if you've got that kind of cash, or 10-ounce bars, whatever, and put them to the side, and actually put a envelope over them that says cash. And you can plan out to cash them out later once the spot price gets to a certain point. And just keep that in mind. That is going to be your long-term cash savings or money market, or even your ready cash if you want to do a quick sell and only make a little tiny profit on it, or not lose any money, because right now these are losing every day. All right. So anyway, guys, look, I'm Silver 5150 telling you that your stack is not whack. It's not. And that just 15 ounces to your name keeps you 99% ahead of the game. Please think about what I said, because as we begin to head into the silver age, it's going to get easier and easier to predict upward momentum in the metals markets. It is. Everybody, we're all going to be able to say, oh, guess what's going to do on Tuesday? We're going to be doing that. All right. And believe it or not, you too will be able to time purchases for profit. This is what we're talking about here. Buying metals low and selling them high. Hopefully there'll be ups and downs we can do that with. But I think if silver's just constantly on the move and thundering upward, unabated, you can buy something, 2 weeks earlier, and then 2 weeks later sell it for more and use that cash if you want to use that cash, or just hold on for dear life. All right. Okay. So you'll be able to time those markets later. It'll be a lot easier. Even if you're not confident that you can do it during those times, you can always ask a more experienced member here in the community. There's plenty of experienced members in the community that know how to do that stuff, flipping and all that stuff. All right? It just will help you with the timing and the benefit of it. So with that, be sure to join us tomorrow for a good old-fashioned unboxing. And I ask that you please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And check us out on Instagram. All right, guys, until then, have a great day. Stay safe. Take care and keep stacking something, whether it's silver or just other stuff. But just keep stacking. Don't stop. We're in the crucible right now. I'll talk to you later.